Hey guys, welcome to Jam's Adventures. I'm Jam. Today we're not necessarily on an adventure. This is more of a therapeutic session, more of a therapeutic session for me. But once again, I'm Jam. This is Jam's Adventures, and I just wanted to tell you guys, in life, sometimes things get hard. Relationships are hard. Perceptions are not truth. Everybody's got a perception, or everybody's got their own reality, but that doesn't necessarily mean truth. So when you have two people in a relationship, each person is going to have different perceptions about the other person, which may or may not be true. And that's why I say, perceptions are not truth. Perceptions are your feelings and emotions, and most those things can lie to you. So sometimes we have to look past that, and we have to be willing to throw it all on the table. We have to be able to dig deep inside ourselves, throw our perceptions on the table, let the other person in our relationship throw their perceptions on the table, and we look at those perceptions together, and somewhere in there, they're either both true. They could be both true. They could be both lies. They could both be false. One of them could be true. One of them could be false, or maybe both of them are half truths or have some truth in them. But somewhere there might be something in the middle. So you got to dig through all that and figure out what is the truth. Take the perceptions, put them out, look at them. Find the truth, look at all your problems, dig through them, see, and you got to figure out what the heck is going on and what is the truth of all this, because there is truth. And sometimes our perceptions are off, and the way we feel may not be accurate. We might feel something towards someone that's not completely accurate. I know I do that specifically with my wife and children. Sometimes, I blame myself a lot of time for my problems, and now because I couldn't fix my problems, I kind of laid that on my wife and maybe even on my children, and I wanted them to fix me because I couldn't fix myself, and they couldn't fix me. So when they couldn't fix me, I blamed them. So you can see that it doesn't work. First of all, I blame myself, and it wasn't necessarily my fault either. Some of the things, some of it's my fault, definitely, but you have to realize there's things in your life that may not be your fault, and sometimes that's okay too. If things are out of your control that you can't control, that's okay, but we have to find a way through that. Sometimes things are in your control, and sometimes we just lose sight of what truth is, and I think I've done that in my life. So I wanted to kind of share this, what I'm going through to fix my mental health. I thought this might help you guys, to help you with your struggles in your life. For me, this tree is very symbolic. This was a beautiful tree in the front yard here. It's at my parents' house in Mississippi. It was a beautiful tree. I mean, it wasn't big, compared to like hundreds of feet, but it was a nice tree. It was probably, 20, 30 feet tall tree. It had lots of shade. There was a swing on it for our grandkids to play on. So it was a nice tree, but it had issues. It had lots of issues, and those issues led to the tree probably was diseased, and that tree, it led to the upper portion of that tree felling itself. So the support structure, the frame of this tree felled itself, and eventually the tree fell over and was rotten on the inside because of all the things. So all of that rottenness caused this tree to break, and eventually they had to have it removed. But the stump was still here, and the roots are still here. So I look at this tree as a relationship, a relationship between your innermost feelings and your relationship with other people. Specifically for me, it's my wife and kids. But as I'm looking at this tree, I'm like, you know what? This tree had lots of problems. This tree is actually dead, and we need to remove all the roots of this problem. We need to remove the stump. We need to remove all the roots, and and then we can start fresh, and we can have something fresh and new. Because this tree is done. This tree is done. The roots are done. It's lived. It's run its course, and now it's time to do something else. So, as we start to look at this tree, and you can see I've started to dig a hole here. Look at this root system. This tree, like I said, wasn't like the biggest tree, but at that time, look, there's lots of roots. Everywhere you look, there's these roots, and you're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. Under this ground, there's an even bigger root structure. So I've started to remove some of those roots, only a few of them, by digging around this tree. So the intent is we have to get this tree up. We have to dig around this tree, but to dig around this tree, there are thousands and thousands of roots to deal with, thousands of roots. So all these roots are issues. And this tree, so I didn't know that this tree had so many issues. So when I'm looking back at myself, if I'm the tree, I didn't know I had so many issues until I started digging. And once I started digging, I started to see all of these issues. And it's like a root canal. I got to dig all these roots up. I got to have a root canal. I got to numb all this stuff, get rid of it so that I can move forward in my life. And that goes for you too. So part of my process to do that is to start working on this tree a little bit by little bit. I've started. You can see I've dug a little hole around this tree. But like I said, look at this. The more I dig, the more root systems there are. And it also rains, so there's water in the hole. But what we have to do is we're going to dig around this tree. Then we're going to start working on the stump, burning the stump. We'll burn this stump up a little bit. It's going to take a while. We'll burn it a little bit here and a little bit there. So that's purifying the stump, burning it, getting rid of the stump. And then we'll slowly start to dig out these roots and try to finish digging out these roots. And then we've got to repair the ground. So we'll find some sort of dirt or a sand or something to repair the ground. And then the ground will be healed. The grass can start to grow again. And this tree stump will not be here anymore. All we'll have left is this beautiful front yard full of grass, just like we do in the rest of the yard.
Mushroom got me tripping.